RV with wings. You can pack up the kids, the entire family. You can put in the camping gear, all your food supplies, take it out to the outback. You can dump all that at the campsite, and then you can take your SUV for some extra fun in the climbing trails and the 4x4. Well, that's exactly what is happening across the country. You can dump all that stuff off at the airport, and then you can go and do. Earned his wings in 1987 and taught flying in the Canadian designed and built CT-114 Tutorjet. That's the same airplane being used today by our Canadian Forces Snowbirds demonstration team. Folks, this is the rolling 360-degree turn. I hope you noticed the altitude that Ross started this maneuver. The goal is to end the maneuver at show center at approximately the same altitude that he started. What do you think of Ross Granley so far, folks? Now I want you to pay attention to this maneuver as he just lets the airplane slip back down through his own smoke. Folks, we call that the tail slide. Folks, it is also his son's favorite number. Upside down, hanging in the straps, as Ross gets a good look at the B1RD hanging out there at show center. Outside snap roll. Again, this is like a family SUV. Pretty incredible machine flown by Ross Granley. That distinctive growling sound you're hearing from the airplane comes from its very powerful 355 horsepower Benyev M14 9-cylinder radial engine. It propels that aircraft through the skies at maximum speed, just shy of 300 kilometers an hour, and can get the airplane up to about 18,000 feet off the ground, and with zero wind has a range of just shy of 600 kilometers. Now, kids, I want to ask you, I know school's out, but what number do you see or do you think Ross is creating up there in the sky? Well, if you look up a little bit away, you're going to see the great big vertical 8. Big roll on that 60-degree incline. He's now snap rolling the airplane again. Ross Granley in the incredible Yak 18T. Look at the very tight turning capability. Rivals some of the incredible fighter jets that we see sometimes in air shows, performed so expertly by Ross Granley. Our engine is. He's going to pour the coals to the fire. turns. Continues to climb high above us in the Yak AT&T. I'd like to say thank you to the Delta Optimist. We've been providing news coverage from residents in Deltas. It looks like an airplane out of Star Wars. This is the Long Easy. It's actually a two-seat airplane. Kyle is flying the airplane from the front seat, demonstrating for us the very tight turning capabilities of the Long Easy. Aerobatics, the Long Easy more than makes up for it with its unique style. It was designed by Burt Ritchie. Down there's 3 to knife edge and 4. 4-point hesitation. The Long Easy, powered by a 200 horsepower life-moving IO 360 engine. It weighs under 1,000 pounds, folks. It's very, very light. Has a cruise speed, as I mentioned, This is what Kyle calls the 1,000-foot loop. Over the top there, 7,000 feet. Kyle would return to line himself up with the show line once again. Kyle from Central Alberta, Canada, got his start in air shows at the age of 12. When he began to announce for his dad, Cotton Ken Fowler, at an air show. Then in 2015, he purchased his Long Easy for the sole purpose of performing air shows. He was a very highly qualified pilot. He has a commercial Easy IFR license and flies the Navajo for the company he works for. Kyle is a currently licensed automotive mechanic, which complements the Long Easy. Stephen Christopher in the lead. That is in the white and red Army aircraft. And Army's left wing right now is Todd Rudberg. Correction, that's the right wing. Todd Rudberg in the orange airplane. Look as they go through the opening loop and roll. It looks like these airplanes are simply tied together as they fly through the sky. On these airplanes during the entire performance, even if they're on the extreme left or right of the stage, because they're going to be changing formations at some point during their show. They're also going to be changing who leads the team through the sky. All right, continuing on the right wing, and Todd Woody Rudberg with Stephen Christopher in the lead. Another beautiful orange Stormer Sloop here at Show Center. Resides in Monroe, Washington, and spent 17 veterans years in Alaska, flying to remote locations and even riding a snow machine along the entire route of the Iditarod Trail. He's a proud graduate of Penn State, where he earned degrees in physics as well as mechanical engineering. Did you notice that Todd Rudberg now slipped into the left wing position on that turnaround? Well, now they're going to form their first split here. Watch closely as they turn away from us here at Show Center. Get your cameras ready. They level off for just a second, and they turn in towards each other. There's the cross. Now it looks like they're turning in, and they're going to be going
it
Now, if you didn't think flying formation was hard enough, try getting airplanes that are being split apart back into formation. This is how you rejoin in formation, undaunted style. Father to his granddaughter, Olivia. Todd's journey into aviation began as an infant when his dad, Bill Rutherford, would take him flying while logging hours in his Taylor truck to pursue his commercial pilot's license. Bill found that the engine noise effectively a win-win situation. He is flying an RV-8. Remember I told you that Kyle Fowler's Long Easy is a home built? Well, these aircraft are home built as well. That's right, folks. People build them much like a model airplane. They build them in their garages, and sometimes they build them in their kitchens. Talk about a very understanding spouse. But Todd, as he splits away off to our right in the black, white, and orange airplane, that is the RV-8. Steve, on the other hand, off to our left in the red and white airplane, is flying the RV-7. All of you, if you're posting videos and pictures online, we'd appreciate that you tag Undaunted Air Shows using the handle @Undaunted Air Shows. We'd also like to thank their sponsors. They include Lycon Aircraft Engines, based in California, their go-to source for aviation power, catering to a wide range of needs from safe transportation to the highest performing air show machines. Lycon engines propel some of the most remarkable aircraft, including Todd's record-holding RV-8 and Jeff LaBelle's impressive 410 miles per hour, 8-time Reno National Champion Air 3. Contact Lycon today to fulfill all your aircraft needs. Formation flying that is into air show flying. As they roll over into a nice big barrel roll. Just imagine a 45-gallon drum lying on its side. Undaunted Air Shows just flew around the inside of that barrel. That's why it's called the barrel roll. Another fun fact. As Todd Rutherford follows his leaders, Steve and Christopher, all of them demonstrating the formation flying inspired by such teams as the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds, and our very own Canadian Forces Snowbirds. It's the job of the lead pilot to fly a very smooth profile so that our wingmen can get back into position very, very quickly. And you can see Steve is very, very gentle on the controls. Because during the loop and roll, Todd's going to slip right back into that right wing position. Look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Now, I think Steve is saying, hey, I need a little bit of a break leading the formation, so he invites Todd to take the lead. That is now Todd taking position in the lead, and he's going to lead Steve into another series of loops and rolls. Undaunted Air Shows. Start of the Canadian Forces goes back, or the start of the Canadian Forces Snowbirds actually goes back as far as 1920s when the Siskins flew Siskin biplanes. It was a 3-place aerobatic formation team, and they literally put ropes or tied ropes between the aircraft and flew an aerobatic profile, just like we're seeing Undaunted do. You can Google, or you can read Dan Dempsey's great encyclopedia book called The Tradition of Excellence. Covers the MX2 and sets up for his next maneuver. Using the gyroscopic energy of the propeller on the aircraft, he is doing a maneuver he likes to call a pearl necklace. Straight up, kicks in hard left rudder. He does not one, but two consecutive hammerhead turnarounds. Lining up with the show line, he's picking up a whole lot of smash. That's the energy aerobatic pilots are looking for to perform incredible maneuvers like this one. This is called the flip top. Keep your eye on the airplane again, folks. This is the real thing. This is not a model airplane that Brad Worston likes to fly when he's not flying air shows. Flips the airplane over its nose. And now he holds the airplane just above the stall speed upside down as he unwinds the airplane on that 45-degree line. Folks, what do you think of Brad? Now, air show pilots like to use a variety of turnaround maneuvers to keep the show right in front of you. Here's one. He likes to call this the Humpty Bump. Looking at the bottom side of the airplane as he falls back on that stick. Down towards the ground, spinning the airplane once again as he finds the center line of the runway to set up for his next maneuver that he calls This airplane has 355 horsepower, yet only weighs a mere 1,350 pounds. It has an incredible roll rate of over 420 degrees per second. Brad likes to work nice and close to the ground. On the stick, looking at about positive 6 Gs as he climbs up into the sky, now rolling the airplane as he continues to go. He calls this maneuver the spiraling tower. He's going to be looking for about 180 knots as he pulls back on the stick once again and goes skyward into that beautiful blue sky we have here over Delta. Still rolling the airplane, and there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. A 4-point hesitation roll on the upline. Now again, he kicks in hard left rudder, a little bit of opposite aileron so that the airplane doesn't flip onto its back. Now step rolling the airplane as he comes out of that. Lots and lots of airspeed now. Center stage. This is called the torque roll. It is Brad turning the airplane into a helicopter. There are the ailerons on the tips of the wings are spinning the aircraft. Now, right about here, the torque of the engine takes over and starts to spin the aircraft further. Now, shifting it into reverse, hanging it on the prop, he starts to slip back down through his own smoke as gravity takes over. There's 1, there's 2 plane lengths, and there's the recovery. The torque roll performed so incredibly well on Brad Worston. Brad is very excited to currently be working with the Ryan J. Poe Foundation. A youth program called Elevate Your Life is the action arm of the foundation. It was founded by airshow performer Greg Poe as a result of the tragic drug-related death of his son Ryan. The foundation's mission statement is utilize aviation to inspire, motivate, and provide a path for young people to realize their dreams. The encouragement that these young people receive to follow their dreams has truly been a lifelong dream of Brad Worston. And again, puffing the smoke. He calls this the crop duster turn. One of the maneuvers crop dusters will use to get the airplane turned around and back over the fields to crop dust. All right, right on the deck now. Back up into the sky. Again, rolling and rolling the airplane, doing it some more. Calls this the centrifuge. Again, using the torque of the engine as well as the gyroscopic energy of the propeller to flip that airplane through the sky. There's another way to get the airplane turned around. It looks like a half Cuban 8 or a half figure 8 lying on its side. But he has in a tumble there. He calls this maneuver the tsunami. Now you saw Vicky Mensing perform this maneuver before. Watch as Brad performs the maneuver. He keeps it probably within 500 feet of the ground. Cyclone helicopter we saw before. This is called the Cyclone. And again, just above the swell speed, that's the point when the wings don't want to produce much more lift. And now he's going to use all air speed and get that MX turned around and ready for his next maneuver. It should be called the tidal wave. It's an inside tumble, you see right there, and now he's got this thing pulling into his mouth using the power. Just hovering the aircraft, very much like a helicopter. Coming out of it upside down. Boy, you don't just jump in an airplane like this and start performing unlimited aerobatics. It takes a lot of training. It takes a lot of physical exercise to build up the G tolerance. These performers are going from negative G's to positive G's back to negative G's in very short periods of time. Blood rushing to their